What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Mike Roach Show. As you guys have already seen probably today, there's a lot of activity going on around the NBA. But before I get to that stuff and how it affects everything I'm talking about to you today, this is all about Jakob Poeltl tonight. I said this is all about Jakob Poeltl tonight because there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that we have to get to in regards to Poeltl because his name is in a bunch of trade rumors. He hasn't been playing. There's just so many things we have to get to. Okay, I want to talk to you about what he's been done for the Raptors thus far this season. What are we used to seeing from him? We're going to look at his numbers a bit, cons of his game, pros of his game, why all the trade talk, where could he possibly be going? We have a bunch of things that we have to discuss because I'm going to be giving you guys a bunch of information tonight on just different pieces, contracts, different centers around the league. What has he done over his past seasons playing in the league with the Raptors, with the Spurs, all that kind of stuff. What we're used to seeing. There's just so much information that I'm going to give to you because this is not really an episode where I'm talking about something definitively, whether the Raptors are going to trade him, whether they're not. I don't know what the Raptors are going to do in regards to Jakob Poeltl. All of us are going to have to wait and see. What I want us to discuss is, can he help this team if he's not traded? What are we used to seeing from him? Cons of his game. What are the good things that he does? And where might he end up? All of those things, let's get into this now. So, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies in just a little bit because there was some activity with them earlier on this day. And I'm sure most of you guys don't know it, but if you did not hear about it, just stay tuned. But the first thing I'm going to talk about to you is, how has Jakob Poeltl been for us this season? How has he been for us this season? Well, damn it, he's missed most of the games. Okay? He's missed most of the games. He's played 41% of the games for us this season. He's played in 21 games. We've played 51 games this season, sitting at 30 and 21. But what are we used to seeing with Jakob Poeltl, right? Like, is he himself? Obviously not, because he has a back injury and he couldn't really move out there before he was out of the lineup. But there are games when we see him pulling down double-doubles, and when he's not pulling down double-doubles, when he's healthy in the lineup, he's damn near close to it, okay? Averaging around 12-9, 13-8, 14-8, 14-9. He is around there. Last season, he was at 14-9. And you know what? Why don't we? I'll just show you, because I'm going to be doing a lot of screen share tonight in regards to Jakob Poeltl. So let's just look at some of the numbers for Jakob right now. Damn it. Let's just look. All right, let's get to his stats. I'm on the wrong screen here. But let's look at some of his numbers here, and let's look at them from last season first, all right? So let me make it a full screen for you guys. We're looking at Jakob Poeltl from last season. He played 57 games last season with 29.6 minutes on average per game, 14.5 points per game, 9.6 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists, 1.2 steals, 1.2 blocks. He's shooting 62.7% from the field. This is all last season, remember. Shooting 67% from the field last season. So we saw him be serviceable. We know Jakob Poeltl is serviceable, right? 14.5 points and 9 rebounds a game on 62% shooting, 67.4% from the free throw line. When he's out there, he does good things for you. It's not like Jakob Poeltl is some bum. We know that he's not. We know Jakob Poeltl is a good player when he's healthy and out there on the floor. Now, is he overpaid? Yes. Yes, he is. And we will talk about that contract in just a little bit as well. The point is when he's out there and he's healthy, he's good. Makes a lot of money. Yes, we all know that and understand that, but he does provide you with good things when he's out there. Now, this season, just 21 games he's played this season in 25 minutes. He's averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds a game with 2 assists and 0.5 blocks per game, which is the lowest of his career aside from his rookie season. And his rookie season doesn't even really count because he wasn't playing like that. So, yes, typically you would see him with a better block percentage, but not really doing much from that standpoint. Why? Because he can't move. The same thing with his steals, pretty low from what we're typically used to seeing. Now, yeah, he's been around that a few times as well. Actually, forget about him in regards to steals, but with his blocks, I mean, you're used to seeing him do a bit more than that defensively. The guy can't move. He is a good defensive player. He is a pretty good, decent defensive player. What are we used to seeing Jakob Poeltl doing? What are we used to seeing Jakob Poeltl doing? Well, we know that Poeltl runs the floor hard. He's a good finisher. He's a shot blocker, rebounder, sets good, hard screens. He can do all of these things. He's a fundamentally sound player. He's good in the pick and roll. We're used to seeing him do these kind of things. But with this damn back injury now, that's a big part of the problem because remember, we have a short memory in sports. When he's not out there, we forget how much that Jakob Poeltl can affect the game. And yes, can you probably get somebody who does what Jakob Poeltl can do for a cheaper price? Maybe you can. You probably can because you need that flexibility in terms of your spending, right? You don't want to be tied down to a guy with a massive contract over years for providing you with the numbers that he does. If you can find that elsewhere for a cheaper cost, obviously you're going to go and you're going to look for that. But we don't know if he's going to be traded at the deadline. We don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe by the time I put out this podcast or put out this show that Jakob Poeltl may not even be on the team. We don't know what's going on yet. All I'm saying is if he's here by the time the trade deadline is over, he can do good things for you. That's all that I'm saying. Now, if you can trade him and get him off the books, do you do that? Yes. I mean, what am I going to say? No? Am I going to say no? I'm not going to say that. But at the same time, when you trade Poeltl, because of the numbers on the books, you're going to have to add a draft pick to this thing. You're going to have to give up a first-round pick here. And we're hoping it's only one. I don't want to give up more than one first-round pick to have attaching it to Poeltl to get rid of his contract. And I'm going to get into that in just a little bit more, but I want to talk to you a little bit about pros and cons of Poeltl's games before we start looking at everything else here. Now, cons of his games, I'm going to start with first, and then we'll talk about the pros. Why? Because when you trade for a player, when you sign a player, when you draft a player, you don't draft, sign, or trade based on the cons of their game. You acquire them, sign them, draft them based on what they can do, not based on what they can't do. It's based on what they can do. And so when you look at the cons, which is why I want to talk to you about his pros after, because I want to save the best stuff for the last bit of that. But limited offensively, which we already know. Can't shoot it at all. And I'm not just talking about from three-point range. Cannot shoot it from mid-range either. He has no jump shot whatsoever. Low free throw percentage at that. Can't really guard outside of a 5. He's not really mobile. He can't really switch on to guys and cause havoc defensively from a guard standpoint or even an athletic forward or anything like that. He has no one-on-one post moves. So not just aside from shooting. You can't really give him the ball and expect him to go out there and get you a bucket. He doesn't play with his back to the basket like that. He has a little jump hook and a little push shot, but he's not going to get the ball face up, give you a pump fake, jab one way, go the other. He ain't that type of dude. Like, Emmanuel quickly got to break the defense down and kick it off to him. The same with Barnes or Ingram or Barrett or whatever. That's how Jakob gets his baskets. You got to break the defense down and spoon feed him to get him a bucket. That's just the way it is. That's his game. He can't really create for himself. Now, he does have a bit of an injury history. We'll look at some of his numbers when it comes to him and his games per season. Now, forget about his rookie year. But after that, 82 games for the Raptors, 77 for the Spurs, 66, 69, 68. Then he gets traded back to the Raptors. Played 46 games with the Spurs, 26 for the Raptors in that season. Played 72 games. Played 50 games in 23-24. 57 games last season. And now 21 games out of the 51 games thus far when this show drops for the Raptors this year. So, yes, he has missed some games over the tenor of his career, obviously. I've seen worse, but yeah, I mean, you would like to see players be in that lineup as much as possible, especially when he gets the type of contract that he has gotten. But overall, we went through the cons of his game. Let's get to some of the pros of his games right away, because we do have a lot to discuss. Some of the pros of his game. Well, he finishes well at the basket. Shooting 69.3% from the field on a bad back this season. He has good hands, right? Can catch some difficult passes in the lane, go up and finish. He understands the fundamentals of the game, right? Understands communication from a defensive standpoint with his teammates, understands the pick and roll. He gets the game. He gets, knows, and understands the game. We know that about Jakob Poeltl. Good basketball IQ. He works hard, good motor, anchors your defense, clogs up the paint. He's coachable. He doesn't really complain. He's good with his teammates. You've heard the way that his teammates have talked about him. You've heard the way Scotty Barnes has talked about a guy like Jakob Poeltl. When have you ever heard Jakob Poeltl complain? He does not complain, okay? Punches in with his lunch bag, does his job, he punches out, and damn it, he goes home. That is what Jakob Poeltl does. And we've talked about him before. And he does some good things for Emmanuel Quickley. When Jakob Poeltl is in the lineup, Emmanuel Quickley plays a lot better with that screen and roll with Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl does some really good things when he is out there playing. But damn it, he's got to be healthy. He has got to be healthy. And that is like any player. But a lingering back injury, it's a good thing that and listen, Michael Grage did send out a tweet today if you guys didn't already see it. Now, maybe I'll try to find it for you guys. But he was out there practicing today. And I'm not saying going extremely hard, but he was on the court moving. I repeat, he was on the court moving today, which is a very good thing to see. Now, we got to talk about some of the other centers in the league and what those guys' stats are looking like, what those guys' numbers are looking like. And like I mentioned, this is not a right or wrong podcast. I'm putting information out here, and you guys can talk to me in the comments and let me know what you guys think. And you guys can talk amongst yourselves clearly as well. If you don't move Jakob Poeltl, and I'm talking about Bobby Webster, are you guys going to be extremely pissed about this? And listen, They may not move him at the deadline if they don't find a deal that works for them. They may do something in the offseason. They may do something in the offseason as well. It's right around the corner. It ain't that far, but you got to remember, it's not just about the offseason because the Raptors are going to be a playoff team. And if you don't move him, you need him to be healthy in that lineup. I've mentioned that ad nauseum in this podcast already. He's still got to do stuff for you in that lineup because you're still going to need him. You're still going to need him. Let's talk about some of these other guys here for a second. All right. Let me make this a bit bigger for you guys. Now, this is points per game. So what do you think Jakob Poeltl would be averaging if he was healthy this season? You got a Brandon Ingram, a Scotty Barnes. I think he would probably be around that 12 to 14 points a game, maybe 8 or 9 rebounds a game, I'm assuming. But, I mean, these are the guys upper echelon. Sengun, Karl Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo. 21 points, 19 points, 18 points. These are all centers here, right, guys? So, and gals, Jalen Duren, who is now an all-star this season, Evan Mobley, 17.9 points. And so I'm going down the list here at around the points per game where I think Jakob Poeltl will be at about. DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, Derek Queen, Jared Allen, Zubac, even around that 14 points per game. And I'm assuming this is your rebounds right here. 11 rebounds, 8 rebounds for Jared Allen, 8 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. Only 5.5 rebounds for Miles Turner. Derek Queen, Nick Claxton, 7.4 rebounds per game. Wendell Carter Jr., 7.3 rebounds per game. So we're looking at guys in this range. I think he is around this range somewhere. Alex Sarr, 17 points and 7 rebounds a game. He's doing work like that, Alex Sarr. But anyway, around this area, DeAndre Ayton, I think, is comparable-ish. Poeltl's better defensively. But around Jared Allen, yeah, around that. So what type of money are these guys making, right? What type of money are these guys making? Let's take a look at that. Let's put me back on the screen here and get into that price range of some of these guys. So let's see here. Let's get rid of this, stop the screen here, and I'm going to add a document that I have. No, I'm going to share my window. Where is it? Do I have it here? See if I can find these numbers for you guys. Here we go. All right. Take a look at these numbers here. Take a look at some of the money. Now, I did kind of zoom it out a little bit so you can see everything on the same screen. But I have Jakob Poeltl here in red, and we're going to get to his contract in just a second. But this is here in red. This is Jakob Poeltl on the current deal that he's on right now, $19.5 million for this season, opting into next, and then his contract after that. But a guy that I was talking about, we can even look at a guy like Hartenstein, $29 million. Jared Allen. Look at a guy like Jared Allen here. $30 million. Nick Claxton, $24 million. Why do I have Jared Allen on 2 different contracts here? I got $20 million for Jared Allen. Excuse me. Miles Turner, 27. Guys are making some bread out here when you're looking at these centers. $36.5 million for Rudy Gobert. Guy like Naz Reid, who I actually really like a lot, $25 million. this is just to give you a basic idea of what some of these guys are making. In the left, this is the value of their contract and then the average per year. Right next to it, Nurkic, 17.5 million. So just take a look. You can pause the video right here if you want to see some of these other guys that I have here on the screen as well. But just to give you some basic info on what these guys' numbers are looking like in regards to how much they are making a season. And so come to your own conclusion after seeing that, and you can do a bit more research in regards to that as well. But overall, I do want to show you here another screen and look at Jakob Poeltl's contract here. So the contract that he's currently on right now is this contract right here. 4-year, $78 million deal, the 25-26, obviously, which he's on right now, goes into his player option for next season at another $19.5 million. And then the extension, 3 years, $84 million. And this is the contract here. 27, 29, 27 again. And so I have a question as to why they did that contract so early. Now, if you can move the contract, okay, sure, I get it. But now with this injury, you're going to have to move him with a first round pick, it looks like, to make this thing happen. And so what are some of the teams that Jakob Poeltl could possibly be going to? We've been hearing maybe the Sacramento Kings, and now we've been hearing, but I have been hearing a lot that the Sacramento Kings actually don't want anything to do with that contract. And now we're hearing about the Memphis Grizzlies. Why are we hearing about the Memphis Grizzlies now? So we've been hearing that, not been hearing, it's factual now. There are some things that happen around the NBA today, if you guys don't already know. So let's get to that. A lot of screen sharing going on today. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this here. All right, let's go to Sham's page. Is this Sham's page? Yes, this is Sham's page here. So this was the deal that happened earlier today, right? The Memphis Grizzlies trade Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Langdale, Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton Jr., which I like a lot, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and this is the big thing here that you want to pay attention to. 3 future first-round picks. 3 future first-round picks. Now, the Jazz make a major swing for Jackson Jr. and the team with Lauri Markkanen, Keontae George, Walker Kessler, and more. Now, pay attention to this. The move signals a full rebuild for the Grizzlies around its promising young core and now as many future first-round picks as any team in the NBA. So I've seen that the Memphis Grizzlies have 13 or 14 first-round picks in the next 7 years. Why is that important? Why is that important? Let's continue to scroll up here. Okay. Let's go to Shams before we get to that deal. There's something else here that I wanted to tell you about this deal. They opened up a large, where is it? Here. The Grizzlies have also created a massive $28.8 million trade exception in this deal, the largest ever in the NBA per Bobby Marks. Why is that important? Because if this is a full rebuild, which it is, clearly, you get rid of Jaren Jackson Jr., you're going to get rid of Morant as well. Now, you're probably going to be willing to take on a Poeltl contract if the Raptors add on a first round pick, which I'm assuming they will if you move Poeltl, you will have no choice because that's what Memphis is looking for right now. They're in a rebuild. Poeltl eats up some of your salary, which they're going to need as well. They're going to be losing for the next few seasons, which they're going to want to. And you're going to be rebuilding with young pieces and high draft picks. This is going to be a good thing for the Memphis Grizzlies. You can understand why they're doing what they're doing at this point. This rebuild is it's time. It's time. It's run its course with this team, and they just need to completely blow this thing up. And it looks like that's exactly what they are doing. So I can understand why Memphis is doing this. But on top of that, there was a little bit more that actually happened as well. And I shouldn't have taken that off the screen because I do want to show this to you guys as well. There are some other things that do concern the Raptors in regards to the playoffs because another team made a deal today. And that would happen to be, yes, there was a deal here in regards to the Detroit Pistons and the Timberwolves. Pause the screen if you want to read that because I am moving on. The trade that I want to talk to you about is this one. The Chicago Bulls are trading center Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to the Boston Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. Why? Because obviously the Celtics are going to be a playoff team in the Eastern Conference alongside the Toronto Raptors. And these teams, when you look at Detroit, Boston, and New York, right? Those are your big dogs in the Eastern Conference. And then the Raptors are hovering around the middle after that. I don't look at them as an upper echelon team, but these guys are loading up on bigs here. These guys are loading up on bigs. I mean, Vucevic now to the Celtics. You got to deal with Towns and Duran and Robinson. I mean, these guys, the Raptors have got to do something with this whole center situation. I don't know what they're going to do, damn it. I don't know what they're going to do. All of us are only hoping right now that this gets addressed. But will it get addressed? We don't know. We don't know. We're hoping it does. Who do you guys blame for all of this whole situation? Would we be talking about all of this and Jakob Poeltl like this if he was not injured? No, we would not talking about him like this if he wasn't injured. But a lot of people did have concern with this contract since the day that it was signed. And listen, I like Jakob Poeltl. I think he's a serviceable big. Overpaid? Yes. But when he's out there and is healthy, can he do good things? Absolutely. What's going to happen come tonight, Wednesday, Thursday? I have no idea. But I guess we're all going to find out together. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think here. I mean, there's really no right or wrong to this show. It's pretty much just all information based. But what's going to happen if we don't move him by the deadline? You may move him in the off season if it gets done at that point as well. But if he's here after the deadline, we need him to play and we need him to play big. That's all I'm saying. We can't whine and cry about Jakob Poeltl being here after the deadline if he's here. We're just going to have to hope that he plays well. What other choice do you have? Like, if that's the situation that you're in, you have to make the best out of the situation that you're in. But I am sure Bobby Webster right now is trying to move him. We're going to have to wait here and just see what happens because, I mean, boy, there's a lot of noise right now in regards to Jakob Poeltl and RJ Barrett. At Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the show. get in the comments. Let me know what your likes, dislikes are, questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to talk to me about. Get in there. I will get back to you as fast as I possibly can. And boy, do we have a lot of things that we have to discuss in the next few days with Jakob Poeltl and beyond. A lot of things that we have to discuss. Until the next time, this is the Mike Roach Show, and I'll be back again soon. I'm out.